What's going on, everybody? KD for the Wealth Wells. This is 4/30/2023. This is your weekly market prep for this week, where we look at key levels, market moving data. We get the blueprint, the setup, and we go to the bank. All right, let's take it from the top. If you are new to me and to this Discord, do yourself a favor. First thing you need to do, click the link attached to this video. Come into the channel, and you can start by reading the testimonials. Some very heartfelt testimonials, real people, real results. Spend your time here, read them all. I'm very touched and humbled by them. I appreciate the comments here. You guys make the success of this Discord. We're not like any other Discord. We actually do trade. The gains are real. The profits are real. You get to see when I win, when I lose, everything. You get to see how effective traders do it. After that, get training, folks. Click this link here. Go down this training stack here. Oh, it's not showing there. Go down the training stack. And once you do that, oh yeah, you'll be a-okay. All right. After that, you'll need to go into the Killer Wells private channel. Spend your time in the private channel. Once you do that, it'll take you to the access where you get all kind of cool stuff over there, where we can do swings, stocks, IPOs, all that cool stuff. And of course, futures, we trade that as well. All right. So let's go ahead and get to our, once my other page loads there, let's go ahead and get to our business here. So this week, let's do a quick, while we're here, let's do a quick recap of what last week looked like. All right. So last week, very, very successful week for the Killer Wells, for myself. 2 six-figure days. I almost had 3, but I couldn't pull out the third one. One of those days I had a 300% winner and some other nice gains as well. Options and futures, absolute excellent trades. Other folks made significant profits. So it's not about me. It's about the group and how you guys succeed as well. So very, very nice there. We had some awesome earnings and some catalysts that pushed the market very aggressively to the backside of the week. So Thursday and Friday, and we simply just played that off of our levels. You can clearly see these are the same levels. This is my training chart. These aren't the actual trading levels or all of them. The trading levels are posted. My proprietary levels are adjusted, and they're posted every single day inside the private channel with my setups, my trade call outs, all of that cool stuff. And I'll show you how to do this thing. All right. So let's get to it. Now in the Discord, all right, let's take a look at our data in the Discord. Let's talk about the market moving data for this week. All right. So let's take it from the top here. All right. So first of all, we'll talk about earnings here. All right. There's some things happening in the market this week that will give us an indication. The biggest thing you want to pay attention to is wrestling. Oh yeah, baby. No, I'm just kidding with you. I'm just kidding with you. The biggest thing you want to pay attention to this week is energy related stocks, oil related stocks, and of course, Apple backside of the week on Thursday. Our biggest market moving day will be Wednesday. This will be a risk off day. We'll be looking to see what happens, but we got some very, very interesting and notable tickers that's posting earnings this week. And so look at your setups. I'll be posting some of those. A few that I like: BP, Marathon, all of the energy over here. I like these guys a lot. Pfizer, maybe. Depends on what the setup looks like there. Ford, that's something that I'm watching. Phillips, that's something I'm watching there. Of course, I'm watching Apple, Qualcomm, watching that. I know you guys are watching AMC. I'm not. Fubo, I am. Right, and some others, right? But those are my main that I'm looking at this week after the earnings, and Shell. After the earnings is posted, then I'll be kind of crushing this thing with my own setups, and those setups are always happen inside the private channel there. So let's get right to it then. All right. So Monday we have interesting. Let's see about this here. Monday we have. Let's see here. Is a manufacturing, construction spending, and manufacturing PMI data coming out. Tuesday, we've got job openings and factory orders coming out. And then Wednesday, it's going to be non-farm payroll. All right. We're going to have the Powell press conference there, Fed Reserve interest rate statement there. So our biggest day of the week is going to end up being Wednesday. And then we've got some employment Friday information coming out, and jobless claims on Thursday. So this is an employment week dominated by Fed talk and a non-farm payroll. So here we go. So these are the things that I'm watching for the week. FOMC meeting, ADP report, U.S. employment report, Apple earnings. I'm watching the bond market, as this will tell me a pivot or a shift. and I did post some notes inside the Discord earlier about what the consensus is on the street and just around Wall Street and just others. So many people feel like this is a pivotal meeting. They feel like that this is the apex of the rate hikes, but there's an asterisk by there because of the financial banking issue right now with some of your bigger banks not doing so bad, but your lesser banks, regional banks, that is, feeling the pain and squeeze. We could see an added, I would say, effect on the rate hikes. So while the Feds, here's the consensus, while the Feds may want to do more than a quarter, want to do more than 25, they may be pinned to 25 for a while because that rate hike is already going to be exaggerated with the financial issue with the banks, right? And the banks and deposits and just the uncertainty that's surrounding and looming around them is going to affect a few markets. So it's not just going to affect financial markets here. It's also going to affect stock markets. It's also going to affect the real estate market, and it's also going to affect commercial real estate as well. And we're going to be tracking that, looking at the bonds. And so here's some statements for some economists where I was tracking KPMG statements and some others. They all feel similar that this rate hike is a very pivotal rate hike. And it would when the Feds make a decision at 25 basis points, it would feel like 50. It would feel like something a little heavier because of the situation with the banks. And so that would mean that they're likely not going to push higher than that. They're likely not going to push anymore, especially with inflation being the way it is, as well as a recession looming. I personally believe we're already in a recession, but who am I? But that's the consensus on the street there. And so with all of this, what they're feeling and saying is that these bank failures, specifically Silicon Valley, Signature Bank, and the like, that's the equivalent of another half-point hike. So you add in what's happening in the financial sector, you combine that with the decision of the FOMC to continue with their hikes, and you could have an exaggerated effect, right? That being the case, also our fingers on the pulse of the real estate market. Once we start to see it, the effects of these closures and the effects of the rate hikes and the things inside the real estate market, we're going to see it exaggerated and bleed over to the commercial space, right? Lending, all these things are they're tied together. So it means that you can look for some exaggerated recession talk and some exaggerated moves in the market toward the mid to backside of the year. That's when these things will catch up. What's going to give me an indication of that? I'm going to be watching the bond market. All right. Obviously, we watch the bonds. If you want to know a little bit more about the bonds, then you need to go ahead and watch my bonds video. I've put a video out there about why we watch the bonds and a couple of things like that to help you understand. You can I'll put the link up to the bonds video in the description of this video. But that's the blueprint as far as market moving data for the week. Now, Wednesday for me is a very close-knit day. I'll be tied into the news. I'll be risk off, taking minimal trades, and we'll be watching for how the market responds. So if you were wondering, you can come inside the Discord, and in the video trainings channel, there's the bonds video there. You can also find it on YouTube. All right. So let's go ahead and get to, I think that's enough there. We'll shore up more of the market moving data. I don't want to inundate you. That's not how I, how I roll too much there. We touch on the major movers. We get to the levels. We talk about the plan of action. We shore it up in the morning, and we're coming out the day green. So let's take a look at the market here. All right. So looking at the week, I'm going to tell you right now, Monday, Tuesday is my day. I really think that the market is due for a nice pullback to that 415 area, right? That 4150 area. And so I'd like to see a healthy pullback to this zone here, or this level here, right? We can see a cluster of volume agreeing with my levels. If you've been tracking me for any amount of time, I didn't just slap these up there. They've been up there. You can go watch any one of my weekly preps. They're coupled with training. You can see these levels are there to stay. And as I make my adjustments, you'll see the levels fill in. And then if you want the trading levels, the actual levels that we go to the bank by, then you need to join the tier 3 access. I'll put the link attached to the video and you can come in, toe tap, see what it's all about. All right. So here we go. If we continue to break down these areas, then I am going to look for us to really be pinned until FOMC. I don't even think we rocket back up to 42. I think we're going to be pinned in this 4190, 10 points prior to 4200. I think there's a pool of liquidity sitting there. Let's go to a higher time frame to find that out. Not so much there. How about we check out the daily? We got liquidity and volume dropping off there. However, yeah, so we would need, yeah, I now that I look at it here, I definitely think that, you know, what would push us above 4,200 is going to be your buddy and mine, Apple, coupled with your boy, Jay Peasy, right? Those two come in. Let's say he says we're going to stick around, and he gives a very dovish appearance in the statement, in the notes, in the meeting, what have you, or the consensus is that he's going to be dovish on that. Then, yeah, coupled with strong tech earnings, then we will have continuation from last week. We don't see that. We do not come above this area here. Now, I will create a zone. I will say this would be my zone up here because I would look for volume to shift, liquidity to shift in the morning or over the next 2 days. And if I look for a move, Monday and Tuesday's got to be it. But because earnings and we got non-farm payroll, ADP coming out, we've got Fed Reserve interest rate statement coming out, the press conference coming out, all that stuff. And then we've got Apple reporting after the market on Thursday. This means that you're going to see some low liquidity into the market top side of the week. So if there's a buy up that's going to happen, I would say Monday, Tuesday to be it. After Wednesday, you can forget about it, risk off, just wait. Geopolitical news, some things will shift, and then we can get involved. So to the upside, 4190, I'm calling it 10 points. Even though we did test this area a little bit, I'm calling it 10 points underneath 4,200. Ultimately, right, I will put a level here at 4,200. I know that there's liquidity sitting there. All right, ultimately, but I believe that this is the area that Wall Street will continue to short in right here. 10 points below 4,200. And then to the downside, 4150. This is my area here, right there. And you can clearly see volume. Again, these levels have been there. Volume has caught up to them. And that's where we're trading at. So I personally, into the morning session, I'm going to trade the futures, right? I did execute a NASDAQ trade only moments ago off of 43311. And that was successful trade there. And we're trending down. I'll tell you right now, let's go over to the NASDAQ real quick. Let's start layering some things in here to show you guys how this stuff works. Sorry about that. Make sure I got this thing right. All right. Perfect. I am saying here that the NASDAQ, well, we already did hit it. So 43295. I would say 295 is about right there. Yeah, we've already hit it already. So I just shorted this, just a 4-point move, nothing crazy. When there's low volume like this, I'm trading price action and etc. So I have longer holds and things like that. And so I'll be training you guys on this later, those inside the Discord later and in the futures channel. But we go to the bank there as well. Many of you guys, man, so nice to see you being profitable and crushing this thing. So anyway, so I'm giving you basically a free trade here. This thing is gonna, ultimately, what do I want to see? I do want to see the NASDAQ, Dow, and some other areas of the market kind of give up the goods so that it would support my thesis here for my levels being respected. If I don't see that, right, I see the hold overnight, I check the foreign markets like we'll normally do in the morning, then I'll be inclined to be in a tight, chippy range between that 4,200 and the 4,180 area. These are my levels. That's the plan. It will shore up in the morning, and then this will translate over to SPY. What does that mean for SPY? Let's take a look. So we got booyah. Now here's what's crazy Here's what's crazy. If you want to test and see if this guy knows what he's talking about, go back and watch one of my old videos and see if these levels are still there on SPY. If so, then you could have taken a crazy nice trade Friday because it's respecting the levels to the T. Can't even make this stuff up, folks. My goodness. So we get the steam behind us, 418. We'll start to chip in this area. I'll post those levels later. But I don't really see us, 418, maybe 418, 50, 418 even, this area here. I don't really see us moving over that without any type of a catalyst or what have you top side of the week, right? Backside of the week, all bets are off, as they say. I don't bet, but you know what I mean. And then we'll see how the market shifts. I'll really be paying attention to any type of areas where risk will be shifting into, like the bond market and the like. All right. So those are my levels. That's my plan for the week. I've given you the playbook. You can watch my other videos as well. The playbook is always there. And so far, the playbook is perfect. This thing has been moving according to what we've talked about. I've not had to bring in any extra data, and I'll be sharing more data with you this month. We've got a number of things coming out this month. We have new training coming out this month for those who want setups and additional training for advanced strategies. Let's see here. Boom. Additional training and advanced strategies. Let's see where and in addition to that, this is what I'm looking at for the day. And in addition to that, a number of things, indicators coming out this month, right? To help you guys. Is basically KD in a box. Some of you guys, the moderators have already given me rave reviews, and others who's been testing this thing. And I've, slowly been training people on it. So I'll be releasing that too, right? It is not, I don't do lagging indicators. I don't do dummy buy, dummy sell signals. No, you got to use your brain, right? But it makes it extremely simple to see the trade, and I like it. I like it. All right. That's our weekly prep. You've got our levels. You understand what we're doing here, where we're going here with this thing. I'm going to open it up to questions for a moment, and then we're going to get back to our families and spend time with them, because this stuff don't mean anything, folks, if you can't enjoy the money that you're making and spending time with your family. It's not all about the money. All right. It's about the people and what you do with it so that you can make an impact on the people around you. All right. So I'll end it here, but I will leave it open for any questions. You can post your questions in the SPY only options room. And I help you out. I help you out with something if you need any help. Otherwise, it's been a pleasure, folks. And I'll stop it here and let us get back to it.